introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come in off a loss in the season opener, which doubled as the home opener.
And when you lose that way, at home, season opener, it almost feels like 2 losses. So it's a big fight to get yourselves ready to go to play the next week.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, they come into this one after a loss in the opener, and they're in for another tough test here.
And what a battle for an organization to look at your schedule and see 2 road games to start the season and not have a letdown immediately. You've got to fight against that. They've got to come out ready to play.
2 clubs here, each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Stafford on first down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Time to see how Atlanta will line up defensively. We know they're going to be tough to throw on. Top 3 in the NFL defending the pass.
And, hey, they were stingy in the opener. Didn't allow much of anything at all through the air. So now they come into Week 2 saying, hey, let's see if we can do even better. Let's go ahead and get to that number 1 spot.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, here's Stafford. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught 1 of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 11. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down. There's the first carry for Alex Collins. Brings it up just shy of the 25. Showed some of that quickness there on the move. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a third and about 4. On the defensive side of the ball, here are the starters for Detroit. They enter this one 18th in the NFL in stopping the run.
This is an area of the game that they definitely have to improve because right now, against the pass, top 10 in the league. But against the run, that's where the struggles have come in. Got to find a way to make sure they stop runners before they get started.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. He'll drop to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. They'll run with a fullback, use check. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th.
Hey, 4th and inches. Why let your quarterback try and sneak for it? Give it to the guy who's born to fight for those tough yards. It's a fullback dive, and he just makes sure he secures the football and then plows forward to pick up the first down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. They'll look to throw now on first down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Good solid gain on first down, about what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And incomplete there. a nice hit, jars the ball free, and brings up third down. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the first round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Second down, Collins. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Kayvon Webster there to make the tackle. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers steel curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the steel curtain was playing. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were.
And they'll get this down to the 10. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. So we've reached the end of a fairly even first quarter of play. Can't wait to see what the second quarter has in store. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. It out to Collins, and he loses the football a second time, but the Falcons were able to recover, so they will keep possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home, the next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now back to throw. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a third and goal situation.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On third and goal, Collins. Call it no gain on the play, so no help there. And now fourth and goal.
Now I would be surprised if they go for it. 3 points is not ideal. It's not what they want, but it's still only the first half. Take the 3 points and move on.
So you're a boxing guy. How do you score that on your boxing card? A very long drive, but 3 points.
And I really want to do my boxing analyst voice right here, but I'm going to keep it normal for us, right? I call it a draw. That type of a drive has to feel good, right? You take it all the way downfield, you control the ball, control the clock. But they only got 3 points out of it. So defensively, it could have been worse, right? So I give it a draw.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to callum through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now a first down throw. Stafford got his man complete over the middle. That's Franklin. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now it's Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 46. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. They'll find a man over the middle. It's Golladay. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A really nice gain of 25 yards. The Lions into the red zone for the first time. 1st and 10 right at the 20. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. And they'll run it here. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on 3rd. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And that is incomplete. It was Desmond Trufant right there, step for step in coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
This one through, and that will tie us at 3-3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
that.
Super toe.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. This is Collins on the toss. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. They'll try and run for it with Collins. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The Falcons send out their punter. The speedster Dante Pettis back deep to return. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Taking it about the 16. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Lions will take over. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted them. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Set, 260.
Here's Stafford now on second down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Stafford. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing again. Stafford. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped.
Set, 250.
Stafford looks to throw again. And this is going to be incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they have little chance of winning this one.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
They're going to look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Cameron Jordan in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. So we've reached halftime at 11. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Second half ready to roll. 2 field goals, a combined output in half number 1. Could be first touchdown wins. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
This is Collins on the handoff. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Back to throw now on first down. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's say, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A gain of 6 there on first.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Toss left, it's Collins. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll be third down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
The Falcons on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Looking to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And it is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? Hey, you want to go for it here? We shut you down. They're over on the bench right now feeling great.
A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Takk McKinley in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Out of the gun, Stafford. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Takk McKinley in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. The best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And here now come the Falcons. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
A'Shawn Robinson there on the stop.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
2nd and 9 now from the 21.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39. Detroit, Detroit. All right, now, lucky 56, lucky 56.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Back to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the 1st down. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
4th and 1? This is what fullbacks live for. They're always the guys with all the marks on their helmets because they love sticking their heads in there to fight for the tough yards. And he gets the tough yards here to give his guys a first down.
They'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 52 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
Back to throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to break our 4th quarter tie. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long.
Set! Blue 60!
And they'll go on the ground. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Set! Lady!
Operating from the gun. Stafford. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Tech McKinley in there to get him again. The 3rd time he sacked him here tonight.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. That's taken on the 25. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Now, they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. That's some room to work. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
There's a lot of good on that play when we see the big fella take it and rumble into the secondary. But how about the big part of it, taking care of the football? He doesn't carry it very often, but when he does, he's got to make sure that he doesn't get it popped free. Unlike Mike Tolbert in Super Bowl 50, carrying the ball popped free, turnover, and it hurt his team.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 41 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They'll set up a throw. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Falcons are in for 6. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was the super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 10-3. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. On 2nd and 10, Stafford. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation.
Set, waiting.
From the gun, here's Stafford. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Scoring has really been at a premium. And, Charles, you got to tip your cap to this defense coming in here. Their offense, too, but this whole team coming in here on the road, getting a hard-fought win.
I think the way that they're finishing this one up, an exclamation point on a terrific game. As you noted, hard for them to put points on the board, and they hold them down one more time and finalize things.
There's a first down run with Collins. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
On 1st and goal, Collins. They give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got it 2nd and goal now as they look for that final dagger.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They get it to him running left. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
4 down, 4 down. Hurry up, here we go. 3:19. 3:19.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need. I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Stafford now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Set. At 80.
Now it's Stafford. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Now Stafford. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's say, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Stafford gets this one left side to Pettis. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. The Lions need to move. They're hustling to the line now. And the spike will come with 34 seconds to go. The Lions on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Stafford now to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
Because they have, you're right, they have had no room to breathe. Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. The Falcons in victory formation as they take a knee. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. Good bounce-back win. They take the knee. Can't stop the clock defensively. Tough opening week loss, but now 1-1.
shows that they handled things really well. A lot of teams panic after a week 1 loss, and they start to think that the sky's falling. This team realized it was a long season, and they feel very talented, and they get it done in this one.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it.